Hey yo, let's do this watch list for May 15th. We had some nice action here across the meme names. I, I had kind of said as a joke that I wasn't really interested in trading this unless we get a gap 80 to 100 and $80 hits pre-market. So these ended up being my main watches here as a overextended gap up type play. Monster parabolic here after 7 a.m. And then you get a bit of failed follow through. But if there's anything I learned in the 2020 and 2021 markets is that a weak pre-market does not mean anything once the bell rings. So once this one started pulling back, I actually used this as a plan. I had also said avoiding the head of the snake and trading some sympathies. And COS was the one that I identified as the nicest range and nicest volume for a sympathy trade. So yeah, COS here at 8 a.m., 8:20, and then after the open. And if we look at GME around 8 a.m., you've got this failed follow through momentum setup right here into 8 a.m., breaking lows, 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 and now it breaks it, retests, and fails. So I'm leaning on costs at this point, and had a couple scalps here, short and covered, and short and covered. Right there, short and covered, short and covered, short and covered, and then left that alone till the open. And then GME right at the open here, right there, halt down, halt down, halt down. And then AMC was kind of chopping around a bit here, but we still had that downtrend. So we got a push off of costs, and I didn't want to try and predict that this thing was going to go because it easily could have spiked, and everybody could have been leaning into this with the same idea. So I didn't want to assume it failed, but once this unhalted and gapped down, I leaned pops versus high a day. And then I covered the immediate flush into low a days, reshorted the pop into VWAP, and covered once GME started bouncing here at 947, right around here once it bottomed. So those are my trades there for the meme basket. And that was how I was focused on these names. FFIE, monster move here. The last couple days going from 3 cents now into the 30 cents. Basically trading, 1.5 billion shares. I imagine this is going to gap up. Super dilutive name. So bigger the gap, the better. It's just moving because this has high short interest. And that's what was moving last time when the meme stock started going, as people just started trickling down to the other high short interest names. So the higher this thing gaps, the more interested I'm going to be in a short trade. Proc, I noticed this daily hitting my scans. Put out some earnings here, but it hasn't gone red. So ideally, I get another day. I don't really want to trade this tomorrow. I'm going to be focused on the meme names. And Synt, I wanted to note, I don't really plan on trading this just because at CP the commissions would eat me alive to trade the amount of size I'd need to make this worth it. But I just wanted to note this kind of breakout chart would be something that I would be super interested in, where you get these high volume days and nothing overhead, and the intraday trend holding and building well. So just a really nice daily chart pattern. I just doubt I'm going to trade it just because of commissions and fee structures. Sandal, weed name was the strongest one of the bunch, and it broke out there. LiDAR had earnings here after hours and not doing much, so going to set price alerts here over $3 down the road. JAG-X had earnings this morning, and by market open was already back over the 26s, ran into the 30s, and in 1 minute took away all of its gains. If this continues to build trend, this could have just stopped everybody out. I don't know what the plan is here. But yeah, after market open, for it to be back over 26 is bullish in my minds. So I'm going to see how this thing starts to build, give it a couple days to let it digest its earnings, and then see where we're at. But main watches will be FFIE and COS, and trading COS off of the AMC and GME sympathies. How I like to gauge momentum and daily extension is off of the daily for EMA. And these did come back and touch it fairly closely. So if these weren't AMC and GME, I would see that as already being pulled back, and costs being so far extended, and trading so closely with this. This has no other reason to be up other than just a sympathy to it. So this being having so much range and from the 4 EMA, and also having no reason to be up, this will be my main watch for a sympathy trade off of those other names, ideally for a first red day, because GME and AMC have still yet to go red. So those will be my main watches, along with FFIE, see where this thing wants to open. So yeah, days like today, I will note that there's a few times when I notice myself scanning a bit more when I've got like one or two names that I'm focused on. Like these are my, A grade setups, and this is what I want to trade tomorrow. But I almost feel like I should have other opportunities on the back burner, so I start scanning more. Same thing when I have no opportunities presenting themselves and I start to scan more, widening my parameters, that kind of thing. And as soon as I start doing that, I take a step back and I'm like, hey, take a look at what you're doing here. On the days that you trade well and P&L reflects itself, you follow it, you follow your plans. You're not scanning too much. The setups are presenting themselves. The daily charts pop out and they're obvious patterns. So stuff like this, when I'm like, okay, I want to trade COS and FFIE tomorrow. If they do X, Y, and Z that we just went over, and then I start looking for other things because I want to trade more than two names, then I'm like, okay, step back. These are my two main setups. Let's focus on these. Let's get the best trades that we can and follow those plans. So that's what we're going to do there, and I just think that's a notable lesson that I've learned over the years. So yeah, I hope everybody traded them well today. Hopefully this is a little taste of what's to come in terms of market action. And yeah, trade them well tomorrow, and I will see you guys in the room.